So my microphone's picking up quite a bit in the back. I may have to actually close the door. I didn't realize it. In fact, I'm not even going to may have to. I'm just going to do that before we get started. And I probably will toss another light on, not knowing how that's going to be either. Because I was hearing some background noise, which was really crazy. Good evening, Tony Wallow. Thank you for joining. Hope everything is going well your way. Looks like that has ended, so let me go over to this. See what the... Okay, lag's not too bad. Now let me adjust the lights here. I should have set that all up a while ago. Running kind of late. Took a little longer at the MRI than I really wanted it to. Believe me, it took way longer than I wanted it to. Alright, so we are, looks like I'm up and running. I see the earth is spinning around, and I will now go over here and start Zoom. See how that gets going here. New meeting, and I'm going to take care of that and go from there. I'm going to not be disorganized, but it looks like I am going to be very disorganized. Okay, so me. Then we want to BCC Blackwatch, PH Ringer, Alex, Chris Garrett, Gary, Darren, Sam. I'm probably, so I got on BH Ringer, on the Zoom invitation I've got, oops, golly, I'm showing that on the screen. I didn't know that. Let's get out of that. I guess you guys know it. I guess there's no secrets there. Who am I leaving out? Oh, I know who I'm leaving out. Jeff. Out of there. And we'll just add Jim just to see if he shows up. It'd be nice if he did. Zoom. Wow, I forgot that I had hit the Shift A, which is my hotkey to go over here. That makes no sense. Oh, never mind. I guess that makes sense. So I don't need to see that. So now, press the wrong hotkey. You still got my little dooflinky on from the hospital. I'll have to cut that off here in a minute. So how's things your way, Tony? Seems kind of odd to not be able to talk, but I can talk and you can chat. How is the audio, by the way? I need to figure out a way to test that audio somehow. Good. Tony says audio is good. Good. And I'm pretty sure I've got the DVR set. At least I think I set the DVR. And I don't wear a watch, so I don't have to worry about that. And good. Looks good. Hopefully people will join us. I know a little earlier than when I normally am on here, but I actually wanted to get going a little bit ago, but this took a little longer than I wanted, and then we stopped to get some dinner, and you know how it goes. It was kind of an interesting ordeal, actually. I was very comfortable. I mean, my body's like this wide, and they put me on this thing that's like this wide, and then they say don't move, and they took my shoulder and jacked it up, and put my arm and jacked it up, and they were like don't move, and I'm like, okay, you know, this is not. By the way, how long is this going to take? Oh, 25 minutes or so. Holy cow, that was the longest 25 minutes of my life. And they put headphones on you to drown out the noise, which really didn't drown out the noise. You could still hear everything was spinning and all. And she asked what kind of music, and I told her, and I told her rock, and I was expecting rock, and I got soft rock, and the only good song on there was Jim Croce, Bad Bad of Leroy Brown. Everything else was horrible. I mean, it did occupy my mind a little bit, which was good. It took about 10 minutes after they were done just to take my shoulder and literally put it back into where I could move it and felt good with it. So anyway, I was watching a little bit of Carrie's thing. I'll go back and catch that later. It's kind of odd he's doing a thing on routers. I don't know if they covered modems or not in there or not today. But from what I've seen, it looked good. The guy said 3 to 5 years on a router. My router's 6 years old and it's still going strong. But I probably should get one, just like Jim said, for security purposes. Don't see anybody joining yet. Haven't did anything in DaVinci Resolve all day long. I did kind of play around with Wondershare earlier, right after. I did a lot of work outside today. We chased chickens. My wife somehow let the chickens out when she was feeding them. So we chased the chickens. That was fun. I cracked her up because this one chicken would not cooperate and go back in the pen. I said, don't make me get all Sylvester Stallone on your ass. And I guess it caught my drift because it ran back in the coop. Me chasing a chicken's not a very pretty sight. Kind of probably would have been funny to video. Oh, speaking of video, let me show you something over here. If I can. Yeah, I think I can show this. Let me see. Can I make this? Oh, I don't want to do that. So let me make this full screen.
The end of the line.
This is the beginning or the end, depending on how you look at it.
You guys can't hear this.
So that's pretty cool.
Hold on, let me.
Was going to swing back and get a live pic or get a photo.
Let me figure something out here. I want to pause that. There is commentary, if you will. I'll be so glad when they figure out what's wrong with my shoulder. I tell you what, it driving me up a wall. Okay, so I'm going to make this full screen. No worries, Jeff. I just wanted to test out and sending the email out to everybody. I'm hoping Gary shows up. I've got a technical question for him. That's why I said we'll just start out technical tonight. And who knows, by the time you get back, we'll probably still be here.
Finished
So
my
I'm going to turn the
MRI
volume
for my
up on this just a
right.
little bit. Let me tell you, that was not fun. But I'm going to give you a tour of the Christmas. Hello again, everybody. The Kingdom Live video. So how does that sound, Tony? Can you hear that audio? Lincoln's campus, where I just finished my MRI for my right shoulder, and let me tell you, that was not fun. But I'm going to give you a tour of the Christmas going on. I guess I could check the Christmas lights.
Now, lights and music.
So I don't know if I can expand this or not. I cannot. So sorry about that. So here we go. We're going to start right here. By the way, this is our 5th time to go around to do this. It's like Chevy Chase and European Vacation. Oh, look, kids, there's the Eiffel Tower, except in this case it's, oh, look, kids, there's the 3 green trees.
No, green, blue, and red. And
thank you, Tony.
Silvery
You got it set to music, so that's cool.
And it's got music.
You gotta laugh because everything I say, Lorna tends to repeat. I think it's just a woman thing. Yep, make sure you write that down. 93.9. Be sure to tune into the right place. We wouldn't want you to be on the wrong tune.
And then their tree is clad with lights. And then on the entrance,
we're gonna tell them tomorrow their E is out in entrance.
Christmas trees with white stars.
I particularly like the reflection in the mirror, right in the glass right there.
Yep.
That's a reflection of that.
I love the reflections.
Yeah, the reflection's cool. See?
Yep, very cool.
So that's pretty neat. It's 32 degrees outside, and the wind chill makes it about feel like 18. It's cold as molasses. I mean, it's just cold. I had another saying, all the trees have got white lights in them. I guess that's pretty cool to do. So I will show you one up here in a minute. It's pretty cool. Oh, sorry, mister. Didn't mean to about run over you. I'm getting Christmas video. That's a joke, by the way.
I wish these were lit,
I think
actually,
they will in due time.
but I mean they look pretty cool.
Yep.
But I was contemplating trying to get them in the back of the car. That looked cool in our front yard. I mean, so
You might.
I'll
I
put
got to
them on
figure out a
note.
way
I
to
will return
download this so I can
January 1st.
upload it to YouTube, but I haven't figured that out yet.
They're gonna put.
So this one coming up right here at the end, that's pretty cool. I think it's kind of Cinderella-y looking myself, but
It's a ball, Christmas balls, but
Yeah.
you have entrances where it looks like a.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a deer beside it, right there where them
Yeah,
people are
that's a deer.
standing.
Oh no.
So clearly my eyes are going back because it's
Oh,
not a
might be an
deer.
angel.
It's an angel.
Could be an angel. It's been pointed out to me that might be an angel.
If you can get in, if it's not really that cold, I can go there and get inside and they're gonna take my picture. But oh my God, it's
Yeah, the wind's
freezing.
blowing pretty bad. It's
Freezing.
really super
I mean,
cold, but
it's very
that's
cold.
pretty cool.
Yep, it's a very nice ball. See, it looks like Cinderella pumpkin.
Yeah, it's
flowers.
got the Cinderella look to it. All right, we're gonna end this tour up here in just 1 second. And when we came in, there were people at the entrance. Hey, hello, who's ever watching? I don't know who you are. I didn't see who it was. Put the thumbs up, put the thumbs down, comment on the video later on tonight. And be sure to subscribe to Ken Stout Live on YouTube.
Should I get the plug in on my
So
Facebook
here's the last
Live?
little,
Big
here's the last little thing.
balls.
We got to come back Tuesday, so maybe there'll be more, but
Yeah.
I like those too. I'm gonna have to borrow them as well. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. This is where we started. This is where we're gonna wrap up. So, thank you. Oh, whoever was watching left. I guess I scared them off. I have that effect on people. So thanks for watching. Everybody have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
So that was the first little video. And then as we're getting ready to, hey Robert, as we're getting ready to leave, at the other
Back,
entrance,
we-
there's this one.
Found another one to check out why we're
This
leaving.
is the end of the line.
This is the beginning or the end, depending on how you look at
This is
it.
like Santa Claus.
So that's pretty cool. Was going to swing back and get a live pic or get a photo, but there's cars behind us. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good night.
That's a pretty quick one. So that went fairly good. I mean, it was neat. Something to take my mind off of the MRI. So now I've got to unplug the volume I was checking over here. Mute that or we'll get feedback. I got to reach across here. Plug that in. Put the headphones on. Okay, doesn't look like we have anybody in Zoom. That's fine. They're probably not. They probably think it's not me since it's so early. But it is me. I'm going to go look. I've seen I had an email come in, and that lag's not too bad tonight. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Robert. We enjoyed doing that. Like I said, it was right there at the hospital. And I do anticipate when we go back on Tuesday, there's probably going to be more. I would just imagine. Oh, no wonder nobody's joining us. I sent out a link. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Let's try this again. So copy link and go back to my email. That's no wonder, man. I mean, old age. This is not funny. Try this again. So Black Watch, BH Ringer, Alex. Jeff said he's not going to join, so I won't send that to him. Gary. Darren's going to be in bed. Jeff said he's not going to join. Jim. Yeah, I left you out somehow. I don't know how. You're getting one now, and you're going to get the actual correct. Oh, there we go. So I'm sure I've left someone out. You guys can help me out. Not funny. Not funny. Hold on 1 second. So I had to laugh. I go get this MRI. I resent the links. I sent the wrong things. I just sent them. I'll check to make sure I got them sent out right to everybody. I apologize. The link I sent was actually back to Carrie's. Someone had asked me for that earlier in the day, right before I left to go to the hospital, and I sent out the wrong link. Chris answers and said, "That's fine." He's working on a laptop that the thing is messed up. So let's see here. This went to Blackwatch, BH Ringer, Alex, Gary, Darren, Jim, Robert. I know I left someone out. Yeah, I mean, gotta laugh. Can't do much else. If I've left anyone out, I'm sure either chat or Zoom here in a minute will catch me up on that. But I had to laugh. I go in there and they say, "So what brings you in here tonight?" And I'm like, "Well, I was just here last week and my shoulder's still messed up and they want an MRI done." She goes, "Well, how far can you lift?" And I go, "Oh, I can get to about right." And I got about right there. And she says, "Well, let's see if you can go higher." And I'm like, "No, I can't go higher." "Yes, I can." When someone takes their hand and puts it on my elbow and goes, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Hey, Gary, thanks for joining.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Hello, sir.
Good to see you.
Who else here?
Just you right now. Robert's in the chat room. Tony's in the chat room. Jeff said he probably won't join. He's got some running around to do and then dinner. Chris emailed me. He said he won't probably join. He's been working on a laptop all day. So I skipped them when I sent out the right link.
You sent out Carrie's link.
Yeah, I got an email and I went to check and I'm like, oh, I seen it was for Carrie. And because I got earlier before I left, someone said, "Hey, I can't find Carrie. Just go to the other room with us." Yeah. We can do that. I'll go in there and you can call me and I'll give her the phone. Speaking of the phone, it is in the other room. Yeah, go ahead and call. She'll answer it. So, anyway, Gary, I was pointed in your direction.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let me set this up as best I can. Last night, after we ended everything, I went in to my internet provider and looked at my usage, and my usage at 2:13 a.m. was 63.7 gigabytes down and 26.6 gigabytes up.
Speed test, you mean?
No, I'll show you. Hang on.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Well, then I went in and I turned off the Roku and I turned off the NVIDIA Shield and went to bed. And I told Mrs. Ken, I said, "Before you turn anything on in the morning, wake me up so I can check the numbers and see what they are." Thinking, well, she won't do that. She'll just turn everything on. Nope. 7:53, she wakes me up. At 7:53, we were at 72.3 down, which is an 8.6 increase in 6 hours, and we were at 32.8 up, which is a 6.2 increase in 6 hours. Currently, at 9:43 tonight, I'm at 82.5 down and 36.1 up. The only way I know to put this is if my NVIDIA Shield's off and the Roku's off, what's using my internet to make my numbers go up that much in 6 hours?
That's actually, I hate to say this, an easy question. But you want to hear. You do have the router on or off?
My router runs 24 hours a day.
Okay, that's easy. What it's doing is pinging your, you know what ping is, the idea is it's going to your computer and seeing if it's there.
It's half of Pong, but yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, that's what it's doing. It'll do it until it gets something.
So if I were to turn the router off at whenever I go to bed, the numbers should not go up at all when I turn it back on?
Correct.
Or will I get a massive amount of usage all of a sudden with everything trying to catch up?
No, you won't. You'll get like a hit for a second, but you won't get. It won't try to catch up.
So here's my current usage on the YouTube stream. 82.5 down, 36.1 up. So 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock is 12. So roughly it's been 14 hours because it's pushing 10 o'clock. I went from 72 to 82. That's not that bad. And I went from 32 to 36. I guess in a 12-hour period, well, it's soon to be 14-hour period, that's not bad at all, really. I was just kind of blown away with the fact that it said I had that much usage in a 6-hour period and nothing was running. But now that I know it's the router, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I mean it's trying to connect, but there's nothing to connect. Because when you got off, it still thinks you're there. I mean, it does. It's no big deal.
Right.
I have not a question technically, but it's my favorite question. I have a computer that I'm sitting at. You have a computer you're sitting at. If you could find out, do you know how to do? I don't mean to know how to, but you do Control, Shift, Escape, Task Manager.
Control, Shift, Escape. Yeah, there's Task Manager.
And if you say more detail, I don't know if you got
fewer or more details.
Okay. And if you take a look at CPU or memory,
is that under performance or details?
Under details.
Okay.
Should be all goldenrod color.
It's running on. I'm showing it on the stream right now. I'll make it full screen, full size. That might be too big.
Okay, I see it.
Blackwatch said in chat that pings do not account for an over 10 gigabyte. Well, he said 10G usage.
Yes, it asked, telling me. Well, he
can hear you. No, he's listening to the stream.
How come he isn't in?
He just didn't want to join. That's fine. So, are you sure?
Yeah, it can account for Blackwatch. Not usual, not always, but it depends how you left it. If you signed everything off, fine. But if you just kind of went away,
I kind of
still thinks it's there.
So here's details. What am I looking for in here?
Okay, well, you don't have. Okay, over here. Go back to performance processes over in the top. Processes.
Okay, here's processes.
No, click on it up the top.
Right here? That's
no,
right.
far left.
Right, I got File, Options, View, and then it's Processes.
Yeah, click on Processes.
I did, and then open it up. I have 5 apps running and 78 background processes running.
Right.
Which is a lot.
Where am I at, just to make sure I'm on the same dog here.
I think you're in Michigan, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I am. Okay, how about... Okay. It's no big deal, but let's go to... There you go. That'll work. See your CPU up there, it says 5%?
Yeah, it's right here.
Now I have a weird question. I know the answer, but it's a weird question. Why isn't it 100%?
Why isn't it 100%?
Yeah, it's a joke, but it's a serious question. There's nothing else on there. It should be running all out.
For lack of not knowing, I'm going to go out and say it's not running 100% because I've only got 5 things running and it only needs 4% of what's available to make those 5 things run.
Why not throw everything at them?
That would almost be like saying your car can go 100 miles an hour and you're in a 30 mile an hour zone. Do you want it to go 100 miles an hour?
What if you're in a 100 mile an hour zone?
Then you want it to go 100 miles an hour. Oh boy, this is going to get fun. Not only is it a technical question, now we're getting into logic.
There you go. I'm joking around with you, but if you think about it, why not have it go all the way past? I mean, there's nothing else. It'd be different if it was something trying to get past it, colliding. Why is it only going 10%? I'm joking around, but that's
why is my thing not working here? Hold on, let me restart that. I was going to zoom that. Let me try this again.
But there is one you cannot shut down, no matter what you do.
Why is that not working? Which one can't you shut down?
This is just a joke. It's almost at the bottom. It's called Animalware.
Called who?
Hmm?
What is it called?
Animalware. Animalware. Service executable. It's about 8 from the bottom.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got system, shell infrastructure, systems and service controller. I'm not seeing anything that. Nope. Not seeing that.
It's no big. Do you see AMD? There's 2 AMDs there.
At the bottom?
About 10 up.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got my 10th one up is service host Xbox Live. Authorization something, I guess. 11 is workstation. Are we looking at the same thing? Are you looking at mine or yours?
Yours for sure.
Okay, well,
Mine's shut.
if I could get my doggone stupid Zoom to work, which
It's no big deal. But
it
there's
is.
one.
I mean, I just don't know. It should. My Zoom should be working.
Do you have a Cronus on your system?
I do actually. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got
Catherine put it on there for me. I've got a. Oh geez, someone come up and clean in my room for me. Doggone it! Why did they do that? I think I put that away. Oh no! Wait a minute.
there is 10 Cronus programs running.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I
No
think
big deal.
I'm trying to think why we put that on there because I got a Sabre Rocket NVMe M.2 drive. Why did we put a Cronus on here? I wish Catherine was in here so I could ask her.
Probably for either backup or antivirus. Probably backup.
I honestly don't know, but if I don't need it, I can get rid of it.
I'm not going to. I would talk to her only because I don't know why she had to put it on.
Maybe
Do you use
backup.
it right now?
Pardon?
Do you use it for backup now?
You do know who you're talking to, right?
No.
Okay. How many backups have I done? Better yet, do we think Doug's watching? No. I have not done a backup since. Make sure Doug is not watching. Doug did the backup. And I'm horrible about that, and I'm probably going to get burnt one of these days, and I'll say to myself, self, you should have listened. But no, I haven't backed up.
So I do one about every 2 or 3 days on my own system at home.
I probably should. I mean, between all the pictures I've got, and that's about it, and everything I've got going on with all the pictures I've got, I probably should. Robert said he's telling. Yeah, he'll call me tomorrow, and he'll say, how many backups have you done? Oh, several. No, I don't know why we did that, honestly. I don't remember. There was a reason for it. I'm sure I wouldn't have.
Probably. Did you pay for it?
No. Nope. Not that I'm aware of. And trust me when I tell you, I know pretty much where every penny I have goes. And in fact, I had a 2-hour argument with AT&T today. Go ahead.
Well, it's between $35 and $49. So.
No, I can guarantee I didn't pay for it. So why do I have it? That's the $1 million question.
I would bet you have it to back up.
And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10. And then the next 2 are AMD. And why is does AMD stand for something other than the AMD systems? Because this is an Intel system.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It's. Do you see the one after the AMDs?
Anti-malware service executable.
You cannot delete that. Microsoft said no way in hell.
It's not running, so 234 megabytes, very low and very low. Robert, do I know how to create a label on your Gmail list? No, but I might figure that out because that way I don't have to go in there and try to remember everybody. Hey, Chris, good to see you. I thought you were calling it tonight, but it's good to see you.
We talked about
another
this.
question. Fire away. We're technical now.
No, this one, well, sort of. I'm joking, but I'm serious. I talked to a friend about. Is Alex around?
No, I don't see him yet. He might be watching the. Why don't we discuss that after we end the stream?
Good enough.
Okay.
I mean, it's nothing bad.
No, I understand. I mean, I don't want to end the stream, but I also don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, so to speak.
Well, no, there's with what he's looking for, there's nothing real good.
That's, yeah. Well, his town, if I understood him correctly, his town is only 4,000 people, and that's a bad thing against him. I took off my little hospital label finally.
Now, what if you had an emergency tonight?
Well, when she put that on me, I said, "Am I being admitted?" And she says, "Oh no." And then when they took me back, they were like, "Are you claustrophobic?" And I said, "Oh yes." And I said, "As long as you don't put that dye." Hey Robert, good to see you. I said, "As long as you don't throw that dye in me, I'm fine." You put that dye.
The dye that burns like hell.
Oh yes. The needle goes in and you can literally go 1, 2, and I'm puking. I mean, it's horrible. I've had it done 3 times. The laptop's in good shape. I started working on a computer. I stay up. Yeah, I think all of us do that. We get busy on that and we stay up until the sun comes up the next day, and then the next day and the next day. Good. Chris is working on a laptop. He thought the DC jack was bad on it. Good. Robert, how's your night going? Are you off tonight? I thought you were off the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, he's in.
Yeah, he's joined us, but I don't see if he's muted or what. I wonder if I can I wonder if you could make me co-host or me make you co-host or vice versa. Chris is saying it will hold, it charge but does not hold. It does have TMP PPT on it, Inspiron i5 1559. It may, well, if the battery charges but doesn't hold a charge, it sounds like the battery might be bad. What little bit of laptop knowledge I have.
Well, if it's got what he just said, TPM, it should be new, or a couple of years at best.
Yeah. He didn't go into detail as to what was wrong. He also says he hears that sometimes a BIOS update can fix a charging issue. No clue. Hey, Alex! There's Alex.
Agreed.
There he is. Hey, Alex.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing okay, all things considered. Don't know, I have to practice sometimes. Yeah, there's a lot of things on that statement that are very true.
Would you have an MRI today?
Yeah, on my shoulder.
No.
Earlier in the stream, when I was getting going, my body's about this wide. Let me move over to it. My body's about this wide. They put you on this little thing that's about that wide. And then she took my shoulder and she literally jacked it up like this, and then she brought it around like that. So my shoulder's like this, and then she took my arm and she went like this, and then she says, "Don't move. This will take 25 minutes."
And the machine goes.
Well, they gave me headphones. I was impressed with. She says, "We'll give you headphones to block out the noise." Cool. What kind of music do you like? Oh, rock's fine. Great. I get in there, and the first thing that happens is my wedding band right here, my finger starts going, and I hit the little thing. She goes, "You all right?" I said, "I'm fine, but my wedding band, do I need to take it off?" And she laughed, and she goes, "Oh, no, that's just the magnet. You'll be fine." So the whole time they're doing this, my finger was going like that. I mean, it was hilarious. So then the music starts. Soft rock. There was one song, Jim Croce, Bad Leroy Brown. Everything else was horrible.
Should have had music on your phone or something. Should have had.
Well, I couldn't have my phone in there because I'm in the MRI machine, so that wouldn't have done no good. But
if you had a pair of Bluetooth headphones like everybody does now, like the ones you put around your neck,
Yeah.
could you not have left your phone out and just left your?
It'd have to be about 10 foot away. I don't know how far the Bluetooth would work.
Yeah, well, the phone was out in the lobby with Lorna.
Oh, well, that probably wouldn't have worked.
But the thing is, these headphones, they were huge, like Jeff wears. I mean, they were super good. Outside with nothing running, great. Couldn't hear a thing. I get in the tube, and they fired up, and I'm not kidding you. On my left ear, every time they started a new pass on that, it was like, and I'm like, well, these aren't doing me any good. I might as well not even have them. So,
The worst part is it goes, then stops, then,
yeah.
And you think that it's done for a while. And this is the minute you do that, and I had one with my knee, and the way they had to twist it, it's like, no way, we aren't doing this.
Yeah, I came really close, and I do mean really close, to hitting that little ball thing they gave you to let them know you're in trouble. I was at the end of it. I don't think I could have went another 2 or 3 minutes. I really don't. And it started moving, so I opened my eyes, and she's standing out there. So I said, "Are we done?" Because I'd been in that thing, and she says, "Yeah, you're done." So I'm trying to bring up. Robert sent a link to everybody in chat, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. It's trying to load in. It says ibb.co/9pdsd2. I need my glasses on. So Robert.
It's a picture of some. It's a picture of something.
Oh.
But I can't tell. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to look at it right now.
I think it might have to do with. Yeah, it's just not loading in. So I go back Tuesday, and I'll sit down with the doctor, and we'll figure out what's going on.
He's trying to take away host from you on the Zoom.
Okay, and he's showing me what it's doing.
Yes, because he's got an option for reclaim host or stay participant in the Zoom.
Right.
So he's trying. That message is. That message is trying to make him host instead of you. So I guess he wants to be host.
And I will switch that in just 1 second.
I wrote better, maybe.
Okay. I gotta go find it. Where did that open? Did that open up in Firefox? I think it did. Yeah, it's just sitting there running. Okay, so let me jump over here to Blackwatch is joining us.
No, I was just showing you what I seen.
Oh, okay.
What I was telling you about, that was it.
Yeah, we need to get together. Okay, we got it. That's actually louder than what it was in the MRI machine. Yeah, well, actually, what's the song that starts out, "People say I'm the lucky one, we've only just begun, and we have a son"? Is that Danny's song?
I have no clue.
Anne Murray?
Oh, yeah, Canada. Ask Blackwatch.
Yeah, well, the guy that sings the theme from Caddyshack did it, and Anne Murray did it. I think that's what it is. That was the second, and that classified as an okay song, but, just, I wanted, if it would have been heavy rock or just decent rock, that would have been a breeze to sit through that or lay through that, but it wasn't. I do see a new BIOS, but not sure if I want to update with the wonky battery. Take the battery out and update the BIOS. That solves that problem. I mean, that's what I would do. I don't know if that's right or wrong or not, but if the battery takes a charge but it doesn't hold a charge, it sounds to me like the battery's bad. And, laptop batteries tend to not last forever anyway.
When does a BIOS fix a battery problem?
That's what Chris said. He said he had heard that. Bluetooth produces... Chris says, Bluetooth produces RF. Can you use it? I would think you cannot use it. I was impressed with the fact that my little bitty ring here, that it affected that. I mean, it was, I wished I'd had my camera. I'd have been doing a video. Look at my finger. Never mind.
Where would the camera be?
Yeah, rub the ding. So, I'm actually glad it's over. I just hope it's something simple, and I won't find out until Tuesday.
Is this for your shoulder?
That was for my shoulder, yeah.
How come I didn't get an MRI?
I don't know. You go to Sarah Bush Lincoln Hospital here in Charleston?
No, I hired the doctor instead.
Why you didn't go to get an MRI? I don't know.
Okay.
So tonight what I'll do, I will unplug or turn off the router. I'll write down my numbers, then turn it off. When I get up in the morning, I'll check. And according to Gary, my numbers should still be pretty much the same. And then we'll go from there. And see.
Who is Robert Michael? Is that George Michael's brother?
No, that's Robert in Tennessee.
It doesn't say in Tennessee. It says Robert Michael.
Well, who's the BW? Who is that? He doesn't say he's in Canada.
I'll fix that.
Okay, so I think Chris and Gary are talking about the laptop, so I'll let them chat. Or as Doug says, how does he put that? I can't remember. The warranty.
Can you hear me? I apologize. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Chris.
Loud and clear.
No, we don't have to type anymore.
Chris should be able to hear you. Yes.
They, I think, Dell. We're talking Dell has a conditioning program where what it does is take the battery down to dead, charges as far as it can, and does that like 3 times. And even if it doesn't, if it charges just a minute amount, as long as you stay plugged in, you should be able to up the BIOS.
I need to check one thing. I just thought of it. Tony, can you hear the Zoom chat coming out over the YouTube stream? I just now thought about that. This could be horrible, actually. Because I got my headphones plugged in so that I can hear Zoom and I don't get no feedback. I know I played the video a while ago from the Christmas things. Can somebody jump over to the YouTube stream and see if you can hear the Zoom feed or not?
I'm going to echo you, but just talk for a second.
Yes.
Okay, Tony says he can hear it. Okay, good.
Yes.
I can hear it.
Okay, good. I wasn't going to get any sleep tonight, worried about that. All right, what shall we discuss now?
Well, I applied for that job that I was telling y'all about the other day that supposedly requires a hardwired connection, just to see if they take my application and see what they say if I actually talk to somebody on the phone.
Okay. So, go ahead, Gary.
I'm not going to know for sure until I actually apply for the job. You know.
Right.
I don't want to invest any money in it.
Didn't he say he applied for the job? Or is it I'm having?
Yes, I did.
I was going to ask you, Alex, because I've been listening to you earlier. You know, from me, you're sharp, whatever that means. But have you thought about anything about maybe some programming?
I'm not really into programming. I took a couple of programming classes as part of my degree for that involved a little bit of Java and a little bit of SQL, but that was it, and it was just a very little bit. But I'm not a programming guy myself.
Okay, the reason I say that though is even with me, not saying job, but even with me, we throw something and say bring it back Tuesday, and if you're done, you're done. We're with help desk or something to do with network. You got to be there when you got to be there at 4 o'clock. Programming, if you want to work until 4 in the morning tonight, I don't give a shit as long as you have it done by 2 tomorrow afternoon.
Even from paying out the money for them working that late, you don't really care?
No.
Are you hiring? I can work from Charleston.
No, I'm being serious though.
I know. I'm being facetious.
No. I know you are, but
because programming, I know absolutely nothing about. Nothing.
But yeah, that's.
But I did
that's
discover.
Why I say that.
Yeah, I did discover on the NVIDIA Shield we can put 4 screens, much like we've got here. We've got 5.
and you can have 4 different feeds from 4 different locations. You only get audio from one, but like I told her, come the heart of basketball season, I'm going to have Indiana on one screen, and then I'll pick out 2 or 3 colleges across the United States to watch, and I'll be set. I mean, I'll have my own little. What was the bars that were popular back in the '80s, where you go watch basketball games and you have food and drink? Sports bar. I'll have my own little sports bar.
Sports bar.
Yep. So
when we was on StreamYard and GXC yesterday, did you hear yourself from my microphone picking up my speaker, or does it work the same way Zoom does, where it's a different wavelength?
I didn't hear anything. Did you guys?
I heard when it was there. I mean,
What did he say happened? What?
Remember the other day on Doug's stream when I asked you if you could hear? He was telling me I could take my headphones off, and I remember.
Yeah, what I told you not to ask questions. That one?
Yes.
Yeah. What
And
about it? What about it?
And Doug told me that I could take my headphones off because the audio coming off my speaker,
Yeah,
the audio going into my microphone is two different wavelengths or 2 different streams, however you put it.
yeah, got you.
I'm trying to figure out if that same thing applied to GXC that we did yesterday in StreamYard.
I didn't hear anything when we were testing them out. I thought it was fine.
StreamYard is not Zoom. I don't know what. Are you comparing StreamYards to Zoom?
I'm trying to figure out if y'all heard anything. Like if y'all could hear y'all self coming off of my speaker, going into my microphone.
The way Zoom does it is what you believe comes out of the speaker to go back into the microphone. Other than your voice, it creates an opposite reaction to everything but your voice, and it cancels it.
Automatically?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Hey, real quick, Chris wanted me to ask Alex if he got the email Chris Garrett sent him today. He was sorry late in replying.
Yes, I did.
Okay, he said he did. Good.
Well, let me qualify that a minute. Whatever Zoom, I wouldn't be able to play the music if what I just said was true. You know, anything coming from other than where you are, what you do, is canceled out. So, just like in an aircraft.
I've got my YouTube stream muted on my other screen. If I unmute that, it'll be picked up.
It'll come back. It'll come back.
Right.
It'll come back at you. If you do that, it'll come back at you.
So I had to close the door, you can see behind me, because Warren's got the TV so loud. When I first started this, I could hear that coming through the YouTube through my microphone on the stream.
Because that's coming through the same thing you're talking into.
Oh, okay.
It's the same as any jet, but like passenger jet. They dial to a certain frequency, the pilots, but there's more than them on it.
True.
But they cancel out the others.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out if StreamYard or Jitsi does the same kind of thing as Zoom does.
I'm gonna say it probably did, because I didn't hear anything.
I didn't.
And Gary said he didn't. And
I
Jeff's
don't-
not here. We can't ask him. So
I don't recall, Alex, you having, for lack of a better word, feedback. No, I didn't hear.
I don't think he did.
No.
Okay. Good.
Now you've used the same
So
question.
Alex,
twice.
not to sound like I don't remember, did you say your town's about 4,000 people?
Yes.
Do you live
I do.
right across the street from a school?
Yes, I do.
Red brick house?
Yes.
Okay. Got a
No,
little
I'm not.
pot of flour sitting on the right-hand side of your sidewalk.
The picture's not accurate. The Google, if you looked it up on Google Maps or Google Earth, the picture is not accurate.
Well, of course, because it's 4 years behind, if
Have
not
we
more.
freaked you out yet? Have we freaked you out yet?
Alex, you're
No,
not gonna freak him out.
I don't mind if you see my stuff, because of course it's posted on a public public website for my dad's business. It's accessible to anybody, anywhere in the world.
I was just amazed at what you said last night. I was kind of concerned that I'm not in West Virginia, but okay. So here's mine again. I got no qualms if someone shows up to do whatever. They show up to do whatever. So this is Charleston, and this is the county health department right here. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but they're right there. This is my house, and this was, according to the data at the bottom, this was taken 2021, but when you take the little guy and go down on the street, it is June of 2013, so it clearly is not accurate, because that's the house. Right here on Sue's house, the greenhouse is gone. And across the street at my neighbor Isaac, this big tree right here is gone. So I don't know why. I guess, does anyone know how often Google drives around and takes pictures of the streets?
I have heard 3 years. I don't know.
Well, this is June 2013, so that's what, 8 years? That's a little behind. But then again, it's Charleston, Illinois, and there's not going to be anything here. I mean, I get that. Looks like it was cloudy that day. Now there's the 2 women standing in the garage. It just amazes me what you can do with this. It really does.
And think about the military. They don't have Google.
Where does it show you?
No, but I imagine the military has a little bit better sophisticated system than what Google is.
That's what I meant.
Could be a little, so.
Where does it show you when the picture was taken?
2013, June 2013.
I mean, where does it show it to you on the screen?
You guys can't see it, but it's in the low. If you go to Google, down in the lower right hand corner, it says image capture, the date, and then next to that it says 2021 Google.
2021?
That's what it says.
That's for sure.
Right, but the image capture was 2013, June of 2013.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's extremely weird. Yeah, we've done this quite a few times. Now that's something I've never noticed. You guys see right here, right above the arrow? Well, you can't see it, but it says 2019 Google, well, almost like a watermark. Yeah, you can barely see it.
Mine was May 2014
That sounds about right.
because we have a carport, like an external carport, and a completely paved driveway now, and neither one of those 2 things are in this picture.
So is that school right there by your house, is that a middle school?
Can you show me what you're talking about?
If you don't mind it going out over Zoom.
I don't care.
What's the address again? No, I mean, I could go look at the website, but
501
West Church.
West Church Street, Sheridan.
Yes.
History. So what I was looking at is this school right here. I came up here and I got to, well, shoot, maybe about right here. And it says Freshman Academy. Is that a middle school or a high school, or what is that?
That's what our 9 years ago when I was in high school, our ninth grade department used to be on their own campus, and that was where the 9th grade was located years ago, because the 9th grade annual I've got is only 9th grade, and no
So
other
that whole system was, this whole system is dedicated to the 9th grade?
That building used to be dedicated to the 9th grade, but it only worked for like 1 or 2 years, and then they changed it over to something else.
Wow,
I think it's being used as like alternative learning or something now. I'm not 100%.
Okay. I just wondered because I was like, cool. All right, I got to go check something, so I got to throw the globe back up here.
But they've demolished across the whole district. They've added new buildings, built new buildings, and demolished some old buildings that I used to go to elementary school in. It's kind of exciting and disappointing all at the same time.
All right, let's go back over to here. I had to answer a quick message. And are we coming back? Yep, there it is. And where did Zoom disappear to? It's up here. All right. Chris Garrett, so what's the laptop? So the laptop has issues while running on house current. Now I think it's got issues with the DC plug is bad or something, which by the way, I changed one of those once and I'll never do it again. That was such a pain in the neck. You know, they couldn't make that any worse complicated than it was. I mean, if I start rattling off in some foreign language, don't worry about it. It's all clean.
But yes, I refreshed the log on our website several times just to see if I could see Charleston, Illinois, and it still only shows West Virginia.
Really? Well, Illinois, West Virginia, you know, we don't know any different.
It don't make any difference to me, really. It's just sometimes it's really not. It's nice to see how many visitors I've had to the website.
Sure.
And where they are just because, you know.
Well, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but it's just concerning. And if I'm physically in Charleston, Illinois, unless it's my internet company and they're based out of West Virginia, that might hold a little bit of water. Like little bit of water, but
It doesn't bother me in the slightest bit. It's just nice to be able to look and see. You know,
that's more Gary and Blackwatch area than me.
What?
The fact that when he looks to see who's visited, it's showing that I'm still in West Virginia. That's
I've
kind
never
of
done anything with it.
But I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I mean,
With the amount of Coke you're probably drinking, I guess.
it's diet. Now, we had that with dinner tonight. So I seen the funniest thing tonight. We stopped to get dinner, and there's a guy in short pants, tennis shoes, socks, and a fur coat. And he was not trying to make a fashion statement.
That's Doug. Stay off it.
No, it wasn't Doug.
Was he homeless?
No, he very nice young man, actually. He was former military. We probably stood there and talked a good 10 minutes. He just said he had to throw a coat on because he needed to run to the store, and he grabbed the closest thing he could. So.
when I was at college, there was some girl one time in winter in 30 or 40 degree weather outside in shorts and flip-flops.
I only put jeans on today because I was going to get the MRI. So here's the funny thing about that. I had on a t-shirt, and Lorna made me put this shirt on, make it more presentable. Okay, I kind of agree with that a little bit. And I had shorts on, and she made me put jeans on. Okay, I agree with that. Yeah, maybe. I get to the MRI thing, and because jeans has metal in it, you can't have jeans on in the MRI machine. So I had to put on a pair of scrubs to get in the MRI machine. I thought, that's fine. So I was like, next time, I'm just keeping my shorts on. No, I do. I'll be out in shorts. I've got pictures of me in the snow, in shorts, and everybody else is freezing. It doesn't bother me for some reason. Like I've said before, I've gotten more trouble in the military because I would not wear a field jacket because I was not cold. But it's part of the dress code, Sergeant Stout, and you must have a field jacket on. Whatever. I'm surprised I made it 9 years, actually.
What if you weren't in the field?
Most of the time in the field, I didn't wear the field jacket, but when it was stupid. When you show up for duty, you have to have the proper dress on. So if one person wears a field jacket, everybody wears a field jacket, except for Sergeant Stout, who didn't wear his field jacket, and he got disgusted about that many times.
Well, I'm confused. What if you showed up in a dress? Could you do that?
Then they'd call me Max Klinger, and I would probably get kicked out of the Army.
I was about to say, did he spend the whole 9 years in a dress? I mean, small wonder.
Actually, I don't think you can get kicked out now.
In today's society, you probably wouldn't. Oh, you saying that. I'm probably the only big Jeopardy fan here. They advertised that yesterday on Wednesday's show, the first transgendered woman won Jeopardy.
You know, I'm going to say something quick. I don't mind the first half of that, but why?
Why is it advertised?
Exactly.
Thank you.
I mean, they did it with the Sports Illustrated magazine. I feel sorry for some 12-year-old is making it, having fun and finding out it's a guy.
Yeah, really. Earlier in the day, I was talking to Blackwatch, and Heidi Klum's got a picture of her toned butt, and it made the headlines. And Rick, I can't say his name, the lead singer for the Cars,
Ocasek.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So you know his ex-wife, Paula whatever Zinga?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
the model.
She's 56, and I'll say something real quickly. That woman's ugly. But anyway, she posted a nude picture, and that made headline news. What is the world coming to? So I told Lauren, I said, when I turn 63, we're going to make national news because I'm posting a nude picture. Man,
you'll get in jail. That's all.
Of course I'd go to jail. In a heartbeat. I wouldn't even get it. It wouldn't even be posted 5 minutes. They'd be knocking on my door.
Yeah, but Gary, you got to think about something. I mean, you say don't advertise it, right?
No. I said, who cares? I mean,
exactly. I mean,
it's like.
But picture this. I mean, if they didn't advertise it, then all of the plastic surgeons' buildings would have big signs with scissors on them. They snips and snails and puppy dog tail.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, Blackwatch is transgender. Let's talk about it. Let's do How about Blackwatch is Blackwatch?
It wouldn't bother me in the least.
No, but what I'm saying is, why do they have to make a point on it?
Right. Why does it have to be emphasized of certain things? Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Same as gay parades for acceptance, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we have a ship in the military named after a gay pedophile.
Milk?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's actually not a joke.
Oh, I know.
Did they put that in the Webster's dictionary? That's a new word.
So, Robert, you didn't answer. Are you working tonight? Or I went away from Zoom. I'm starting something. Why did I start DaVinci Resolve? That's not what I want. I already showed Gary I got that done. And I was thinking about doing the other one today, but then I knew I had things to get done. Okay, Robert says he is working tonight.
Was that?
I just thought that answer Alex's question on one of those nights. Anything coming out of your speakers going into the Zoom microphone is canceled. Does that make sense?
Yes, I know that. But does that same thing apply? My question was, did that same thing apply to Jitsi and StreamYard and any other video conferencing service you might use?
Somebody field that one.
Go ahead, Gary.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand, but
no. What he's saying is, it's the same on other platforms. Who knows, Alex? I've only used Skype and Zoom.
I used Skype. God, seriously, 10 years ago when it first came out. But I think when Microsoft first bought it, I used it because it was free for a while.
Yeah.
I never used it for a company.
Oh, and Gary?
I mean, Alex, let's put it this way. If they're going to compete, yes, they got to be as good, I guess.
Sure.
They gotta, that's sort of the bar measure.
You mentioned the Coke, right? This could actually have water in it. I have a matching set of Kentucky Fried Chicken glasses. I'm giving them away to family members this Christmas.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, was that Christmas thing today?
That Christmas thing
that you were showing.
Oh, yeah. On Facebook that I showed earlier on the stream. Yeah, that's tonight.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sure they're going to add to it. I'm really surprised Lorna didn't get out and go get her picture taken in the little Cinderella-looking bulb thing, but it was cold. The wind was pretty chilly, and I'm quite sure as we get closer, they're going to add to it. And I got to go back Tuesday, so I'll check it out then.
My mom has been saying that there's supposed to be a solar eclipse tonight. I don't know where y'all are located or if y'all are going to be able to see it, but
Yeah, Tim Sowell posted something about that yesterday.
Your mom's funny. Is she telling all the neighbors to go out at midnight to see the solar eclipse?
no, because I'm not. But she just
No, but
says,
tell her, sell tickets.
And lemonade and cookies.
And you might come away with $100 just
And
for
if you're lucky, the police won't make you get a business license to do all that.
yeah.
So
It's visible
Robert,
at 4:02 in Detroit.
what, the eclipse?
Yeah.
4:02 a.m.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm not, even if it was earlier, I wouldn't get up to watch it.
that's about what she said. 4 a.m.
Now, see, that's humor right there, and he doesn't even realize that he said humor. That was good. And I'm not going to explain it to anybody. Just rewatch the video and you'll catch it. That was a good one, Alex.
I don't even know what
I'll tell you later when we're not streaming.
I'm not.
It's
I'm not
just
good
it's just me. It's the way I look at things. It's the way I hear things. And it's the way I process them.
I'm not good at getting jokes, but I know it's not a funny joke.
Okay, Doug. We don't want to have
We'll
to
have
explain
Doug
them.
explain it to you.
Exactly. See. No, you said we were talking about your mom, and Blackwatch said, or Gary said something about the time, and I said I'm not going to go out, and you said that's what she said. And as you get older, you're going to hear there's a lot of jokes that start with "that's what she said." That's all I'm going to say.
Alex,
Right, Chris caught it. Chris just posted in the chat room. He got it. So
Alex, what are you going to do when the whole lot of us start drinking?
well, I'm not going to start drinking. Hold on. Where's my alcohol?
No, well, you're no fun either. Go back.
Well, I'm not gonna. I don't drink either.
Even if I wasn't diabetic, I probably wouldn't. I haven't touched alcohol in so long now that I probably would get sick over it. I mean,
That was
seriously.
supposed to be funny. I don't drink anymore either. I never did. But
I don't drink any less. That was a joke.
Lord, I don't drink any less. And I still find my way out of the room.
Makes you think
I
of the
can't-
airplane movie when Lloyd Bridges saying, "Oh, I picked the wrong day to stop drinking."
Yeah, I can't understand how somebody can drink and pay $4 or $5 a drink.
Is that
Starbucks. How do people afford Starbucks?
more than $4 or $5 now, isn't it?
I don't know.
For liquor, I would imagine so.
No, I mean a shot. You know, one.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
liquor.
one little shot glass of alcohol.
I don't know how much it is.
I don't either.
Neither do I.
Last time I heard it was like $4 or $5. I have no clue.
I think it's 8 or 10.
Well, my favorite is coffee and booze. Not the drinking, but the price. You know, like you said, $8 for Starbucks or something,
Easily, yeah, it's
and $8 to $10 for booze. Talk about the profit margin on that.
yeah.
Ken, what time did you get up this morning?
I got that written down, Alex. I actually woke up at. Not that I wrote it down for 7:53. I was out of bed.
I was just wondering because you didn't end the Zoom last night till almost 2 o'clock.
Now I think we talked a little bit to about 2:10 or so, actually. But yeah, it was late.
Well, I got kicked out or something because it said the meeting, the URL was invalid.
Really?
And no, the meeting URLs are only good for.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you come to a Zoom meeting, and the waiter comes around and says, "Would you like another drink?" And you say no. They kick you out.
Last call.
Last call.
Coffee does sound good, Robert. In fact, I'll have to talk to my intern in a minute and get her to make some.
What's the stuff they put in coffee? The liquor.
Bailey's?
No, but it's a name. That could be the manufacturer.
trouble in Guyfall.
Kahlua. Now I'm telling you, you want to talk
Kahlua.
about, oh my God, Kahlua.
Kahlua.
Oh,
My
white Russians, black Russians. Oh boy, I had my share of Kahlua
Ken, if you call your wife your intern,
all
what
the
would
time.
you call me if I was there?
Huh? I'd call you Alex. What else would I call you?
I figured you might call me your intern as well because I would be there.
No, your name is Alex. Her name is Intern. She's part Indian. Never mind. I call
Which
her.
one's
I
yours?
call her everything but anything that's abusive or vulgar, and that's just us. And she gives it right back to me. I mean,
Which one's yours? The house with the greenhouse?
no, the one next to it with the vehicle sitting in the front yard. I'd love to have that greenhouse. Oh, like what's his name said in Greece, I'd kill to get the money. I'd kill to get that greenhouse. Hey, babe.
Whose black truck is that?
Let me go back and look at it. I'll tell you. No, I don't know.
I
That
know
was.
the-
I lived in 2013. I was in California at the time.
Old people, they might have died.
No, the lady that sold our house to us was born not in this house, but she from birth to when she moved out 2 years ago lived in this house. But
Can
here's
you run that by us again?
do I?
I got to get in on that bracket. The lady that sold your house to you got 10%. I got to get in on that.
Well, she probably got more than 10%, but
I got to go door to door and say, is this your house? Yeah, I'm going to sell it to you. It will cost you $10,000. Listen to what you just said.
babe,
Well, Blackwatch, you were in the computer field.
are you
Buy
awake?
2 houses a year for 50
I
years.
can't hear. I got
How much
headphones
you
on.
got?
Can you make some coffee?
Too many wives?
I don't know what that has to do with houses.
Well, they usually get half. I don't know. 2 years.
Okay, let me rephrase what I said. The lady that we bought, the lady and her husband, we bought this house from. She was born in a hospital. They brought her home. She grew up in this house from the day she was born, all through high school. Got married. Husband moved in the house. They kicked the parents out, from what I understand, and then they sold it to us. I don't know what she made when she sold it, but the house was built in 1954. But that's not the interesting part of this story. I'm no carpenter and I'm no engineer, but I could have done a better job of doing this house than he did. And at closing, she was like, my father done such a good job of remodeling that house. And after being here about a year, I wanted to call her up and say, no, he didn't. But anyway.
So what did you see in that man?
Like, how do I close this right here?
Doing all of that for, oh, wow.
I'll be back in
It's
about
perfect.
5 minutes.
No problem. It's perfect for us. It's fine for us. We don't need anything huge.
No, but I mean, that woman's husband's got to be,
Now this is weird.
got to be everything, because doing all that, kicking your parents out and all that, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cold actually.
I
Now, the
mean,
windows look different. Looks like they replaced those before we bought the house. I'm like looking at the picture. At this angle, it looks like there's just two women standing there. But when you come back over this way just a tad bit and then swing back there, it looks like somebody's holding a piece of wood or something. It's just me. I like doing things like this. Now this one says 2021 Google.
Says participants 5. Where's the 5? Oh,
Alex is 1, I am 2, Robert is 3, Gary is 4, and you are the fifth
Robert.
one.
Robert. Okay.
Hey Darren, you are briefly here. What time is it? 10:30 here, so it's what? 2:30 in the morning there?
Aaron?
Yeah, he said hi. He said, hi, see who was on, see you later. And Robert said, Google Earth, don't drive by my countryside. Not yet, anyway. There may come a point in time when they do.
Ken, what kind of, you mentioned you were looking for a truck. What kind of truck are you looking for? If he ever posted, if we ever get a truck to post on the website, I'll let you know. And
Honestly, I just need a beater so that if I'm driving down the road and someone's got some, like the other day, there were 4 doors sitting out by the road for the trash to pick up. If I had a truck, I'd have picked those up in a heartbeat. As a matter of fact, I'll show you something here. So this house right here, right there, in front of this guy's garage right now, he's probably got about 1,000 bricks that he's trying to get rid of. Right now he's a little overpriced. And then he's got, in this area right here, he's got some lumber that I'm almost sure he would give to me, but I don't have any means of hauling it to my house. I just need a beater. I just need something that's going to get me from point A to point B. And if Robert wasn't listening, I would say I probably wouldn't even get it licensed, and I'd take my chances of just driving around town and picking stuff up. Oh wait, did I say that out loud? Shoot.
But the real question is do you really want to drive from Illinois all the way to Sheridan just to get a truck?
If the deal is good, sure. Alex, my wife and I drive everywhere. When we lived in California, we lived in San Diego, we got up one Saturday, drove to Los Angeles, ended up in Yosemite, up in Northern California, just to have something to do. When we lived in Vegas, we'd go over to the Grand Canyon or Lake Havasu just to have something to do. We, and when I say we, like to drive because she sleeps, I drive. Been that way forever.
That's about what happens when we go on vacation with my mom. She sleeps or whatever when we're going.
Yeah.
You know what you could do that's less expensive? You know those video games with the steering wheel? You could get one of them and let her sleep on the steering wheel.
Oh yeah. When I was little, I had someone give me one of those steering wheel things with like a video game built into it, all in one kind of thing, where you got the steering wheel and it's got a little screen on it, and the shifter and all that I used to play with.
They're still around. Doug's got one on each of those 3 machines.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Oh God, this is not going to fly tonight.
It's a tough room. Now you know how I feel sometimes.
I think the curtains come down on the actors as well.
I think so.
I'm struggling.
If he's going to be on Saturday, I won't be on because I'll have family over, so y'all are going to have to let me know. Y'all are going to have to fill me in on what went on unless I want to watch a 4-hour stream.
Well, that's okay. Just introduce us.
Yeah, really. Do a family Zoom.
No, I can't do that because there's probably going to be 10 people over here.
Why not?
You can. Okay, so here's how you can make a little bit of money. You can bring them in. You can bring them in for a 2-minute stint on Zoom and charge them, let's say, I don't know, $10. You got how many people coming over?
I would say probably 9 or 10.
It's an easy $100.
What happened to Southern Hospitality? Let's go. Go for it, Tim.
True. Oh, I joke all the time. You guys have no clue about charging people for stuff.
I'm back.
And Ken usually stands by parking meters and say, "I'll put that in for you for a quarter."
Exactly. That's give you the friends and family discount. I'm only going to charge you $5.
But does anybody really watch like a 4-hour live stream video that was live streamed that once it's over?
Go back and rewatch it or watch it live for 4 hours?
No.
YouTube or
on YouTube. Like if
people watch a lot of YouTubes once they're over. If that's what you're asking.
Are you talking about that black truck right there, Gary?
The one right in front of the house, the SUV.
Yeah, I don't know whose that was.
Oh, I thought it might have been your.
No, this was before we even lived here. It's kind of funny they mow the grass the way I did. The only thing we did is we put the bricks up around here, and then I built the brick thing here all the way across here. Plus the rocks are gone. I happen to like the bushes. I wish they hadn't taken those out, but I get it. And now we've got rose bushes in there. And I don't think I can see the back. You used to be able to see down into the back, but I don't think you can anymore. Let me see. Because when we first moved here, this field, I was like, yeah, I know where my garden's going, because I thought, man, I'll just put my garden out there. Well, this land is owned by the county, and all of these plots right here and this greenhouse is leased by the county to the university, and they go out there and maintain it. So now, go ahead.
You're missing all the good stuff in chat. Chris, come on in. Why don't you? He says Alex could charge $10, $10 more because he lives in $10 too.
Yeah, I see that. So now the city came in and they dug a ditch literally from about right here, which is on my property, to about right there, which is on their property, because we still don't know why. I think they had some extra money and they wanted to do it, honestly. I do. I really do. But that doesn't stop me from going over here into this corner and taking my 9-iron and hitting the golf ball over here to this corner and just practicing my distances. And so far they don't complain about that.
High school right in my backyard was on the news the other day, so I don't think we live in Timbuktu, BW.
My son lives on a golf course, and we sneak out. There's a hole right behind his house, so we sneak out and go about 20 yards away and pitch up to it. And we haven't gotten caught yet, but if I lived on that golf course, I'd get in trouble. There's no doubt in my mind.
Why?
Because I'd be out there playing golf all the time, and if you don't belong to the golf club, they frown upon you playing golf on it. But they don't have the fence restricting access, so I would.
What time you're allowed to?
Yeah, no, they don't. Okay, Chris said he's not staying on long. It's almost 12 a.m. Yeah, it's pushing 11 here, so it's 12 in Georgia. Getting late. 12 where you're at too, right, Gary? Or pushing 12?
11:47.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, maybe you better go, Chris. You got enough trouble with that laptop. There'll be a 0-hour virus on it too.
If it wasn't so expensive to ship laptop, Chris, I'd send you this one that's broken here and let you tinker around with it. Take it to that guy that you were telling me about that can repair it.
Does it weigh a lot or something?
Just doesn't start. The blue lights come on, but nothing.
No, I mean as far as the shipping goes, does the computer weigh a lot?
No, 7 pounds maybe, if that.
Don't listen to Chris. And about 20 minutes it's going to say, it's 0030 hours. I'm not going to stay long. It's going to be 0045 hours. I'm not going to stay long. That's what he does all night long.
Yeah, Tim's computer fix. Yeah, 0600. Well, I don't think I'm going to be here very long tonight. Yep.
Come on, we got to punch it up with something. What do they teach at that school across the way from you, Chris? Alex?
It's a high school part of the.
Yeah, well, I heard you. You know, so what do they teach there?
Just regular school stuff: reading, writing, math.
No, you said it's alternative education. What's the alternative to education?
Okay, that's enough. Give him a break.
I don't know. I haven't been to that school district. I haven't went to that school district for 8 years.
You go in there and you get de-educated.
I know I did.
Oh, some of the kids, they've got the option now where they either can choose on campus or virtual learning, or they do like a hybrid.
You know what you do, Alex? Go to the chat and type in, I am not going to win here, am I?
Okay, now I know why we put a Cronus on here. Let me show
Why?
you. Well, I'll show you. Oops. Hold on. Let me try that. Okay, go down here and type in AC. It's for the Sabre drive. If I were to get out the paperwork on that, I think I got a year of free usage out of it or something, but I don't use it.
A year free usage just for buying a hard drive
Yeah.
SSD.
I think you want to check on that. That's probably just for cloning.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree
Well,
with
I'm
you,
thinking I
definitely.
don't need it, but then again, it's really not taking up any space on the drive, and it looks like it's not really using any power usage either. So
I use Macrium when I need it, just like Doug shows.
So Chris said the school may be an alternative for bad kids.
Yeah. You like that?
Yes, that's what it is. But as far as what kind of work the kids get that are in the alternative learning, I have no idea.
Maybe what would Alex tell us a joke from down there?
Tell you a joke?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but hey Google, tell me a joke.
There's no hope for this life.
You can say, "Hey Google, tell me a joke," and it'll tell you a joke.
Yes.
Joke of the day.
The things I'm learning.
Well, there is alternative education for you. Keep it going, Chris. Don't let them go. Bad kids, like, watch your mouth, little one. Little
Hey,
Patty.
Sam Lazar, good morning. I believe it's morning where you're at.
It is 12. It is 2 p.m.
Oh, well, good afternoon then.
I don't know if that works on
Did
your
I send
phone.
you the email for this Zoom session? I don't remember if you were on the list or not.
Still told what?
Sam's in the chat room, and I asked him if he got a copy of the email because I don't remember if I sent it, if he was on the BCC list or not, which I'm still learning that.
Siri. Oh, okay.
Siri.
Your iPhone.
Siri. Yes. See, this is going downhill.
Ken, I don't know if you can ask Google a joke on your phone, but I've got one of those Google speakers, and you can say tell me a joke on that.
I've got Siri on my phone, and I like to argue with it when I'm driving down the road. It cracks my wife up.
A lot of people, say that if you ask Siri to tell you what 0 divided by 0 is, it's funny.
It sings? Did you say if you ask it to divide 0 by 0, it sings?
That it comes up with something funny.
Well, I can never get it to do anything funny. Anytime I try to do something like that, it tells me it can't do it or something. I don't know.
Just ask your phone what is 0 divided by 0.
Yeah, Sam, that we're working with them as best we can.
There's no hope. Sam, I just resent you the proper link. Yeah, the first one was to YouTube. I had an old senior citizen moment.
Hey, don't include me in that, will you? Oh, come on. Somebody punch it up. Come up with something. Doug going to do anything on the weekend?
Hey, got a question for anybody?
Uh-oh.
What was Kerry saying tonight?
What?
He had somebody in there from Asus, and they were talking about routers. What little bit I've seen, all the new and improved stuff coming out on Wi-Fi.
They were talking about Wi-Fi 6 and mesh Wi-Fi systems and stuff like that.
It's JJ.
Hey Siri,
Uh-huh.
what is 0 divided by 0?
Imagine that you have 0 cookies, and you split them evenly among 0 friends. How many cookies does each person get? See, it doesn't make sense. And Cookie Monster is sad that there are no cookies. And your friends are sad because they don't exist. Oh wow. This escalated quickly.
Did you guys hear that?
Is that Microsoft humor?
Hey, Sam. Hey, Siri. If I have 0 cookies and 0 friends, I ain't gonna worry about it. I got all the cookies. You see my logic?
I'm not sure I understand.
You don't understand because you don't think like we do. You think like you do. Says the old man that's 62 years old talking to a phone.
I think the first time you said, "Hey Siri," I think it triggered my Siri on my tablet.
Really? Here, let's try that. Let's see if that works. Watch this. After I figure out which 1,000 buttons I got to push to turn this damn phone off. Okay, mine's off. Okay, here we go. I just love the technical things we're checking out here. Hey Siri.
It worked.
Really?
Really.
Oh my gosh.
Siri, transfer his bank account to mine.
Siri, let me give you the numbers. Hey Sam, good to see you. How you doing?
There was one time that Kerry was trying to look up something on his phone, and he was saying, "Hey Google," and it was triggering my speaker.
That's crazy.
He does that to Matty OL too.
Chris is saying he saw a vacuum cleaner that connects to Wi-Fi. What would be the point of that?
Robot vacuum cleaner?
It's what
Our cameras most are hardwired, except for a couple. Refrigerator, microwave, stove, dishwasher, washer and dryer. There's a couple other stoves in the house, and the freezers are all Wi-Fi.
And there's nothing wrong with that picture.
No, but like he said, or it's done drying. You get there before the stuff gets sprinkled. It's done washing, put it in the dryer.
Stop.
Food is done.
I
Go
think
get it.
we've got 2 iPhones, they're Wi-Fi, and our tablet's Wi-Fi. Everything else is hardwired in.
Your TV.
It's hardwired in.
Is it?
Oh, cool.
Of course. Yeah.
I've got the
If I could
exact-
hardwire my phones, I would, but I haven't figured out how to do that.
Well,
You can buy adapters.
Yeah.
our TVs are hardwired to the cable, but they're not hardwired to the updates in the internet.
Mine is hardwired to my internet.
Really?
I've got the exact opposite situation in my house. Everything in my house is Wi-Fi other than my mom's computer and her printer. Everything else is Wi-Fi.
Almost everything here is wired because I don't like the idea of Wi-Fi. But
Yeah, I'm the same way. But yeah, my TV is hardwired into the internet, the Roku, the NVIDIA, the computers. That's about it. The phones are Wi-Fi. I think the washer is Wi-Fi, but A, I'm not ever going to need the washer to be hooked to Wi-Fi. B, I'm not smart enough to figure out how to hook the washer to Wi-Fi.
I think the washing machine my mom has can also do Wi-Fi, I think.
I can't see that.
Uh-huh.
My aunt has one of those robot vacuum cleaners. Okay, so Chris is saying his aunt's got one of those robotic vacuum cleaners, and it's got Wi-Fi settings on it.
But yeah, I mean, well, especially with the refrigerator, that's how we can post inside. It's got a door. We post what we want.
Like as in grocery list, what you want?
Yep. And then when you come home, you check off what you got or what was there, that kind of stuff.
So what is it going to get to the point where you put your list in there, you take an egg out, you fry an egg, you take an egg out, you boil an egg, and then about 2 days later it goes, Gary, you need to get eggs.
Yep.
Oh my
It does
gosh.
that now, basically. Well, I mean, you got to tell you're taking eggs out, but it keeps track.
The next step, Gary's going to get a bunch of hens and they're going to plug them into Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi's going to lay that egg.
My mom and dad don't want any kind of like Wi-Fi thermostat or Wi-Fi, home appliances or anything. Our security system is annoying enough because every time you go outside, if you don't cover up the camera, every time it detects even the littlest bit of motion, it goes ding dong on the phone. And the dogs go nuts because they've learned that when you go outside, the phone goes ding dong, and they
So,
bark.
again, to show out my lack of not knowing, and don't beat me up too bad, is it true that someone could sit on my street and potentially connect to my Wi-Fi?
Yes.
But the SSID, yeah.
Can they get the SSID? Is that
Well,
is that
broadcast,
discoverable?
right on.
The
Yeah.
SSID is the name of your. So yes, it will show up by default from your router unless you go into the settings on your router and hide it. Yeah, so yes, you
Okay.
have to manually go in there and change it so it's hidden, and then they have to know the SSID.
But
Sam.
I was going to finish with the refrigerator. Our refrigerator and freezer in the kitchen, we also have cameras inside of them.
You have a camera inside your freezer.
Yeah. Hey, do we have eggs? I can't find any. I mean, it doesn't look for eggs, but
Not yet. It will. When you go, do we have eggs? You'll see the camera going and looking for
Right.
eggs. So, okay. Now this might be a question more for Robert and Gary and Blackwatch and maybe Alex, and maybe Sam for that matter. So let's just say Alex comes out here and he's sitting in front of my house and he's smarter than I am and he finds out my ID and he's using my Wi-Fi and he does something he's not supposed to do. Is that going to come back on me and am I liable
Yes.
for that?
Yes, that will come back
100%.
on you.
Well,
but
wait
I
a
can
minute.
only go on your Wi-Fi
You
if
guys
I'm
take
under-
about 5 minutes and think about that. Let's not be so doggone quick to say yes. Think about
well,
that.
let me help you for a second. Let's pretend on your computer you have. We won't go into that. Let's pretend Sam. Let's pretend Sam downloads something that he damn well shouldn't.
Good. Now we're picking on Sam. I like this.
Okay, and I come in and I'm in your house and I go, "The hell are you downloading this kind of stuff? You're going to jail." But he's downloading it.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say that, you can think there's about 2 or 3 things, or 1 or 2 things you shouldn't be doing.
Sure, but so someone goes in your house and downloads something. I get that because you allowed them in your house to get on your computer. I can kind of see that, but it scares me beyond words that I
That
can
is
even
why you
think
should
about.
never give your neighbors your Wi-Fi password because you never know what they're downloading, and it'll come back to bite you in the butt.
So what about you hear stories, or I've heard stories about some guy sitting out in front of someone's house and he's connected to their Wi-Fi and he's on some site that he shouldn't be, that involves children and acts that shouldn't be discussed. And
That's what I was
they
thinking.
come knocking on the guy's door and they say, "Mr. Stout, you're going to jail because you were doing this." And it was all the time someone sitting in front of his house.
Well, see, because everybody, all the residential routers only have one public IP address, and so they don't know exactly which person is using it because they can't tell what your private IP address is. So all they can tell is the one public. So that's how it'll come back to bite you.
Think about it. If that would hold water and you go to jail, Ken, then so would your ISP.
So Robert just said something, and I have to check. Let me remember my hotkeys here. Sam, we were not picking on you. We were using you
But
as
I
an
mean,
example.
if you're downloading movies or music from illegitimate sites, and your ISP notices, they get you.
Robert, I agree with you. Very true.
Okay, so I'm looking at it. I see Mediacom 50.83. Blah, 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 blah. So is that me?
That's what's going out. Yes.
But that's me specifically. It's not Mediacom. That's me.
Yes.
Okay, so now is that number going to be consistent on all sites, or is that just for that site?
Usually it's good for 2 weeks, and then you get another one.
Meaning they change it, or it just... 'cause
They change it.
You lost me.
What are you talking about, Gary? The
The external IP address is the same. That doesn't stay permanent.
that'll change, but they can still, I kept the same IP address for 3 months, and then
Yeah.
it just now recently
Robert
changed.
says someone could DDoS me. Do I even want to know what that means? Okay, so the internet speed test on this one just says internet speed test, the numbers, and it doesn't have any numbers specifically. But on the other one, that's speed test by Ocola, that has.
Yeah, but he's saying you showed it to us the other day.
Yeah, I've showed it 2 or 3 times, but I didn't know that that's what that was.
Ken, that stands for distributed denial of service attack. That basically means somebody can do that on my website, on my dad's website, and take the website down.
Okay. But
Wow.
plus it also means, anyway, Alex is right. I'll take just a little bit later. Sometimes there's 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes, like you said, 3 months. Mine here is usually 2 to 3 weeks, religiously.
I'll have to write this down and check in a couple weeks. I just checked in Sullivan, Illinois, which is a little closer than Urbana, and it went from 254 to 258. I'd show you guys, but that number's on there. I don't know how to hide it.
But if you reboot your router or modem,
Right.
it'll change every time.
Really?
Definitely. But if you own your router though, so and modem, so you don't want to it doesn't matter. But if you're renting them,
right?
When you reboot, it usually upgrades firmware on it or something.
I own mine too. I'm not renting it, but because I'm using my ISP, they can still update the firmware. They did it just the other day.
Did you buy it from them?
It's the one that they installed, but because I've had them so long, they don't require me to rent it.
Okay, but it's from them, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Ken bought his from somebody else completely.
Yeah, it was given to me in California.
But I mean, it has nothing to do with this ISP.
No, it has nothing to do with them.
If I could, I would get my own. But the way our setup is, because we have DSL, the kind of DSL we have, I can't get my own.
So I've got the choice of going to Urbana, Sullivan, Taylorville, Cloverdale. I can check in Cloverdale, Indiana. That's 90 miles away. Vincennes, Indiana.
It's telling you to check or choose a choose a server, a provider.
Yeah, I'm checking the competition now. It says Consolidated Communications over in Mattoon, which is 12 miles away. We'll see.
Are you on speed test right now?
Yeah, I'm playing.
Oh, it's just giving you a chance to say this might be better. That's all.
But now I can't have the option of changing where this is connecting to, do I?
No. Well, let's put it this way: where you've been defaulting to?
Urbana.
Speed test thinks that's the best choice for you.
Okay.
The one I default to, and I normally do it, is called 123net. I actually have some service with them. There's other ones that are closer even, but I don't have any service with them, and they actually turn down their speed test. So
speed test that used to have that option. You could go to Chicago and.
Exactly.
Yeah, generally it is out of Chicago, which I've always found that to be odd that we're down in the southern part of the state and it's going all the way up. Now, the one in Cloverdale, Indiana, right now, it barely hit 220, but it's, I believe Cloverdale, let's see, it's 40 miles to Terre Haute, and then Cloverdale's the 41 mile mark, so it's 84 miles away from here.
Here, I got one for you. 123 NET. See if it'll let you do that.
123 net.
Nancy Edward Town.
And then anything behind it, or just hit that?
Yeah, just hit
Coffee?
That. Oh, you got coffee? Yes, please.
Donut?
Double.
Yeah, bring us some too.
Just coffee for now. 123 net data center network and voice servers that power 25 plus years of Michigan.
Got any cinnamon buns? Hot ones, please, Laura.
Double means double cream, 2 creams and 2 sugars, right?
Yeah, I don't get to put anything like that in my coffee anymore, and believe me, I'm pretty close to not drinking coffee any longer. Black coffee is horrible.
I I'm a tea drinker. I drink it any way you give it to me, but
Not
I
happening
started
either.
putting honey in my tea because I use a Keurig and to make hot tea or whatever, and the sugar and the honey melts. And then
Yeah, I'll see. I'm giving it a chance. If it does what they hope it'll do, then cool. If not, I'll go back to cream.
What Sam got in his glass?
Probably a cup of coffee.
No, it doesn't look like a mug.
It's a water
So,
bottle.
so
Stop
did you try?
staring at me like that, Sam. Ah! He just
So did
gave
you
me a
try?
big
Shot glass. Sam is enjoying the afternoon.
So did you try 1, 2, 3 net?
Let me.
I don't care.
Actually, I got lost, but hang on. I know you guys are shocked. I got lost. Okay, so this is what it brings up. Do I want to click on this first one right here? Or what?
If you got 1, 2, 3 net, you're in Southfield, Michigan. You're about 15 miles from me.
Right. So it's up on the YouTube stream. Do I want to click on the first link right here?
Go ahead.
Need help? Click here and start chatting with us. Check availability. Oh, I can tell right now. This probably is not going to reach all the way down to Illinois. No, it's not. Covers a wide area of Michigan now.
Holy smokes. RM and Chris Garrett both have static IPs. How do you like
They
that,
pay-
Sam?
at their house. Do they pay for them? Because if I
Oh,
was to
God,
get a
yeah,
static,
they both say they do.
if I was to get a static IP here, it'd be $20 extra a month on top of a $100 already bill.
So Chris Garrett, straight black coffee with sugar. Wouldn't that be coffee with sugar, not straight black coffee?
well, you he must be walking in his sleep again. What do you? Straight black coffee with sugar.
Right, that would not be
Is that a southern thing?
What?
straight black coffee with sugar.
Sweet tea.
Oh, I like sweet tea, but then again, I can't have that either. So
What about
I got to
sweet
ask
tea?
this question: what's the difference between a static IP, I believe that's what you guys said, and a non-static IP?
A static
Yes.
IP means it won't change, like for my website, like for a website or at a business where you run in servers.
Robert Polder's in the Keurig machine.
What? A business?
That's cool. So
Hey,
the
Sam?
advantages of that are what?
Or if you're running servers like a web server or anything else that's running on a server, especially for businesses, the IP address never changes. So when you reboot stuff, the numbers never change. So people can still log in, like for virtual desktops, working for people working from home and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Or a good example is I actually have one of my internet's static. If I need to get into my network because of something going on, it's like with my cameras. If I have something in the backyard happen, I can go back in and look at it on the camera.
Well, yeah, that's a good example too, because some security cameras require static IP, and if you don't have a static IP and you don't have any other option other than a dynamic or regular IP, like most of the population has, then you have to use a dynamic DNS service.
While Carrie was on, I was only on for about 10 minutes because they were talking about how many, I have 120 IPs in my house right now. Most of them are cameras, but I got computers.
120.
Yep.
Like internal IP addresses.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I can't do that because I'm streaming. I was going to say, is there a way we can see how many I have? Which I'm sure there is because I think we've done that.
Actually,
before.
most of them are controlled from my smartphone. So if you have an app, it'll tell you.
You can pull up your router on the stream key and then go in and
Yeah, I think we've
push
done
the
that.
option
Yeah,
to connect your
we did.
devices.
And if I don't want to show the speed test, I probably really don't want to show that on YouTube, do I?
Sure you do.
Why not?
Hmm?
We won't be able to log. Nobody will be able to log in because you're behind your
It's your speed test. You own it.
Yeah, but you guys said I should hide my 50 dot whatever a while ago, and now you're saying it's okay if I go in here and
I didn't say anything.
go to my thing.
Oh, you should let people know what it is. It's just good computing. And if you went into your router right now, you shouldn't let everybody see it.
That's kind of
That's
what
what-
I was asking. Okay, hold on. I got
Even
to
though
figure
your
out.
router has a firewall and we wouldn't be able to do anything with it anyway because none of the ports are probably open.
You never know.
Just run IP Advanced Scanner Portable. It'll tell you all your IPs.
Off the internet, Robert?
Right. Yeah, just Google it.
IP what?
Advanced Scanner, if that's what y'all want to know.
Hey, Sam, what did you go to school
I'm
for?
here. Pardon?
What did you go to school for? I'm just curious.
You
I'm
like
at
the, you
university.
like the lunch break.
Sorry, I'm not getting response.
I just wondered what you went to school for.
For the lunch breaks. I told you that.
I was.
What are you going to school for? Because you're currently in school, right?
Yeah, I'm university. Certificate for in cybersecurity.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No,
So,
I was curious in a positive way.
yeah, probably. Cybersecurity.
No worries,
What?
Chris. Thanks for being here. I appreciate
Going
it.
to
I know
school
you
for
were
what?
not contemplating not being here. So Valiant Thor joined us in the chat room on the stream, and he retracted his message already. So if someone caught it, knows what it was, that'd be good.
You want to have some fun?
But welcome, Robert. Does this look like this is where I'm supposed to be? Does that look familiar?
No, you don't look anything like you really do.
Well, that's me holding that big yellow thing in the background.
And you
Boy,
were the
tough
Thor.
crowd. Tough crowd.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Okay.
it.
But I probably don't want to do anything because if you guys are telling me I shouldn't show my
No, they won't show your IP there. Only thing it's going to show is like your local 192.168.1.10 and that stuff like that right there.
And that
Everybody-
doesn't apply to anybody on the outside. That only applies to your inside.
Yeah.
So go ahead and
Because it's all
click
the
free
same.
download.
Yeah.
He's talking about on your router, though, right, Robert?
Yeah, I think he was asking about because you said how many IP addresses you had going at your house. So I think that's what he was wanting to know. If,
Yeah.
like I said, if that's the same thing y'all talking about.
Yeah, he can look. We can't see the outbound IP. We shouldn't be able to.
Right. It won't.
You want to
when
get back at AT&T?
When he's doing the speed test, he's putting up his home IP. And I'm betting it's dynamic, not static.
Okay, so this came up. So now what am I going to do? Hit scan.
Where are you, Jeff? Where are you?
Jeff is shopping and dinner. So I'm going to hit scan. Nobody said anything, so I'll hit scan.
Is it possible that
Yeah,
these
that's
work
right.
home-
It can.
Do what?
Is it possible that these work home jobs can require you to get a static IP?
One more time and
No.
I'll catch it.
He said with the position he's talking about, or any, want you to have a static IP. And I said, you really don't know until you talk to him.
Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Netgear's got to be the router. The desktop has got to be, that's got to be my new build. This one right here, I don't know because I don't recognize those numbers, but it says desktop, so we're good there. 192.168.1.23 is the television, my VZO. The Android's the NVIDIA Shield. This X1007 whatever is probably the Roku, and then I don't know what this one is.
Possibly iPhone.
Could be the. It should be 2 iPhones on there though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me count in my head. So 3 computers. Roku, NVIDIA. That's 5. The TV is 6. Yeah, it should be a total of 8. Something's not registering right now. So my phone is on. I'm pretty sure her phone is on. Can I not click on this and see what they are?
I'll defer to Robert.
If they're not showing up, for some reason they're not connected or something, I don't know.
Actually, on your iPhones, they don't have to be using the internet. They can still be using cell service.
My Wi. Okay,
Right.
I know what it is. So I got to. Okay, the Wi-Fi just clicked on my phone. Let's see if a new number pops up down here in a second. Can I
You have
refresh
to
this?
rescan it. Yeah, rescan it.
Okay.
Hey, Sam, how much extra do they charge for your static IP?
It's a bit different because with business and internet, you get business priority. For example, let's say the internet goes back online, but only to certain users, only business people get priority. In certain cases, I think it's with my eyes being about $10 extra a month.
Okay, no, it's not too bad.
His
They also get
microphone's not
priority.
picking up very good. What did he say?
So now I have 8, which would be correct. What's the last digit indicate? Because I got a .1, a .20, a .23, and a .26.
What do you mean? What's the last digit?
Oh my!
Yeah, your router hands out that IP address. Like all my stuff, I got it manually entered, so I know all my IP addresses to all my computers.
You manually went in and put the 192 whatever.
Yeah, like my main computer and my cameras, my Plex server, my Dell server, and stuff like that. It's all got manual IP addresses. So everything else,
So this one
if it's a smart device, it's on a VLAN. It's on a whole separate network, or a guest. It's on a separate network.
Right.
If somebody wants to use Wi-Fi, something like that. So.
Well, yeah, I can tell the top one's the router because it says Netgear. That's the only thing that's Netgear.
Yeah.
The VZO is the TV, so that's common sense. And then the Android.
Them two desktops, you could just go in there and rename them and put your name what you want to name them. They would show up next time.
Why isn't so my third desktop is currently off, so it's not going to register, correct?
Right.
Okay. I'm not going to turn it on.
Okay. Like if if both of them's Windows 10 Pro, you could have a manual dedicated IP, say 20 and 25. If you were sitting in the living room and want to access your bedroom, you could just go to remote desktop and type in the IP address, password, and log into it.
That's interesting. That is.
But only if you're running Windows 10 Pro. If you're using a desktop.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, you can get TeamViewer portable.
Okay, so Gary's saying that how many people?
No, if you get the portable, you can use one. The problem is some people try to use one for 50. It's like my son, he used one in his house and ended up using it about 8 times and they cut him off.
So how many people have, I wish Chris was still here. When I used to work on laptops, I hate the size, so I would connect through TeamViewer from my desktop to a laptop that's sitting right in front of me so I could do everything from my desktop. That's how much I hate laptops. Anybody else done that?
No.
I always hook up a cordless mouse and a cordless keyboard.
Well, I could have done that too, but it was just much more fun to use TeamViewer.
I have a Logitech little bitty mouse. And then I have a little mouse and a Ferris wheel.
I like the new Logitech setup I've got. The mouse and the keyboard was combined. And I bought the mouse Carrie recommend, the M705, I think it is. And I'm beginning to not like it because I don't know what's going on. Every time I move the mouse doesn't move smoothly. It'll start over to the right and then it'll jump up to the left, and I'm still moving the mouse to the right, and I have no clue what that's about. But I don't know. It's weird.
I can give you a hint on that one. Turn it upside down, and there's a little thing. Looks like it's got glass on it.
Yeah.
get a Q-tip or something, a little bit of alcohol, and clean it off.
Okay, I just looked and I have 12 devices connected to my router right now.
I got to ask Sam a question, not to interrupt Alex, but Sam, you put in 192.681.14. That cannot be accessed by me from here?
My local network.
Okay, so that's safe to do that.
Correct. So
Okay.
if you type that in, you'll try and find something on your network, not mine.
Okay.
If you
I'm
knew
just
his
asking, I
IP
don't know.
address issued by his IP and he port forwarded that address, you could access it, but that's about it.
Anything that is 10 dot anything 172.16 dot anything through 172.16 or through 172.31 or something.
You kind of lost me at
Both
Ken Dot the first time.
The
But-
10s and the 192 are both reserved, yeah.
And the 172.16 through 172.31.
So let me throw my 2 cent worth of thinking out here. All this is worldwide. All these numbers apply to billions of computers?
Yes and no. All the numbers that you see when you do your speed test, that's 50 whatever,
Right.
that goes out to the internet. When you were on your router and it saw 192, that was just inside your house.
Or a 10
Okay.
dot anything or a 172.16 number.
But he
That's-
had 192s.
They belong.
yeah, you're right.
They belong to your ISP, Ken.
That did help a little bit, Gary.
They belong to them.
Now, also, to confuse you, you can get like Sam has, and who was it? I think it was Robert. You can get static IPs.
So not to again show my intelligence or anything, but what would the advantage be for me to get a static IP?
If you were trying to host a website at your house, which a lot of ISPs are against, because if you're paying for a residential connection, they don't want you to host something from your house.
So are they going to get mad at me because I'm doing this? Or are they going to try to charge
No.
me for that?
No,
They produce it there, like Alex says. It's going to keep changing. Dynamic keeps shifting around, so you cannot host something that requires a static address.
like a
But Zoom
website.
is actually hosted that you're not.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you
I
pay
mean-
shipping, you can get some 22-inch monitors. They all work.
You
Are
giving
those
them away or selling them?
No, that's work. They replaced all of our monitors. I already got about 6 or 7 of them. I'm just going to put them in my computer shed on a shelf just to have them.
Yeah.
What are they doing with those?
Just giving them away. I think if nobody finally come gets them, they're going to give them to maybe the public library or
20,
somebody. I don't
22
What kind-
inches?
Yeah, HP.
What kind of connections do they have on them? Just DVI and VGA?
VGA and DVA. Yeah, that's the only 2.
I figured they might be some newer ones that have HDMI.
Think.
The college,
Yeah, they got a bunch of adapters. Theirs to the graphics card, they had an adapter hooked to it.
the college got some nice new monitors where I went to school. That
And that bag
has-
there is just
It has
full of
DisplayPort
HDMI
and
cables.
and all kinds of stuff.
You know what you could do just for fun? Take DaVinci, open it up, go to the source, bring an IP config, change it all up, and ship it back to your IP.
So you think I understood what you just said? I got open DaVinci Resolve.
If you want to get back at your IP before you quit, bring in IP config before you shut it off, put it through DaVinci, change it to whatever you want, and ship it back to them. That'll be their IP. Forget it.
I don't think I have that ability.
I don't even get what he said, and I
Nobody else got it either. This whole Zoom's going down the tubes with your
was that supposed to be a joke?
Think about it, Alex. The IP comes in, the IP config. You change the look with DaVinci and you give it back to them to use.
You change it with like DaVinci Resolve, the video editor?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, so
Lord.
I've got DaVinci opened up, and I'm starting a project.
Oh, boy.
Okay, now what are we gonna do? What's next?
You can't do what I said.
Going it, Blackwatch. You had me
I
going
knew
there for a
it
minute.
didn't make sense. I should know better because I have Cisco certified, so I should know better.
Yeah, you can dress them up, but you can't take them up.
Well, there for a moment, it actually sounded really good. I thought, okay, since I may be leaving this, guys, if I can do this, oh boy. But
Now you know why Doug skips over everything I say, because he doesn't know. Good.
can
Oh,
I minimize? Oh, I sure can. So here's one for you technical guys. Everything that I do, I try to do in Google, but of late, when I'm updating DaVinci Resolve, it defaults to Firefox. Can I change that?
Yes.
yeah, you could. What do you got? If you open Firefox and you go to settings, it should tell you whether or not that's the default browser.
Or you can go
It's
to your
not.
settings.
My default browser is Google.
Or you can go to your settings app in
Well, I
Windows
say
10
that,
and
I
go
don't
to
know
apps
anymore.
and then click on default and see what the default is.
Well, if you have Intel Driver's Assistant, launch it. Whatever one it goes to, that's the default.
Okay, well, I can do that right here.
Oh,
Goes to Firefox.
well, then you changed something somewhere, buddy.
Or
Well,
something
then
changed
you
something
change it
somewhere,
to-
huh?
Because if you left it normal, it would default to Edge.
Right. No,
Mine goes,
I defaulted it to Google, but maybe when I put this in there, I didn't catch the fact it defaulted it to Firefox.
did you update to 21H2, Ken?
I did.
It's possible that when it updated to 21H2 that it changed the default browser back.
Mm.
No way, no way. Somewhere along the line, you made.
Whoa. Sorry.
Go ahead, Gary.
No, it wasn't you guys. It was Sam. Put an IP address out there, and I've been looking at it 3 times. And hey, Sam, you put a 192 as your static IP. Not happening.
A 192 does work as your static IP as long as it's not a 192, 168. Anything in the 192, 168 range is private, but anything else starting with the 192 can be a public IP.
Take a look at what he put in the chat. It's
Well, he's on the
192.
phone with someone, but he put 192.168.1.14.
Yeah,
And he's
definitely.
currently on a service
Well, that's
call,
a-
it looks
that's a-
like, because
that's
he's
a-
muted.
Well, if that is what he put in the chat, that is a private.
So you have 7 monitors on each station and 1 mouse and 1. So 1 mouse and 1 keyboard controls, and you can see it on all 7 monitors. Is that what you're saying, Robert?
Does he have a KVM?
I have no idea. I think he's talking about it at his work, and
It sounds like he's got a graphics card on the computer that can support 7 monitors or whatever, and he's got 7. Because if you watch a guy called Barnacles Nerdgasm on YouTube, he's got 6 monitors.
he said black box, 6 monitors. I struggled with these 2.
7. Okay, 1 there on the graphics card. 6. I'm not sure you can have 6, but
He says he says yes, black box. So 1 mouse and 1 keyboard. Well, okay, so he's got different programs.
RM. So you're using basically a KVM, correct?
4 different computers on each station.
He's using a KVM. It sounds like.
Wow.
Hey, Sam.
Sam's on
You're-
service call still.
Oh, I apologize, Sam.
No worries. I don't. He's muted his mic. I don't know if he can hear us or not. He's talking to somebody. So I was kind of hoping Jeff would get back. It's 9th. Well, still early in Vegas.
Yeah. What is it? 9 o'clock or 10?
9:30 there now. 2-hour difference.
Yeah, I got up after we were done. I got up at 4 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, he says it's KBM, but it's through a black box.
That's just one they make.
Okay.
I think I got up at like 9:30 or something. So that's when I woke up. Or I think I woke up at 9:30, but I got up at like 10.
I actually was 7:53 because I got my numbers and I wrote the time down because I wanted to figure out how much it used and do the
But it
math
was-
and figure out what it was using on an hourly basis and kind of see if I'm going to exceed my 2,000 gigabytes this month, which I shouldn't, but I clearly would exceed the 1,000. We'll see. I mean,
But it was your fault. I didn't get up till then again.
yes, it was. And if we're not real careful, it'll be my fault again. In
Well,
fact,
It's not always your fault, because sometimes I just stay up and watching YouTube until
2 hours and 10
Good.
minutes so far. It shows we had 8 people at one time watching. That's pretty good. I find that's amazing. I really do. So I'm updating DaVinci Resolve, but that downloader, I can't quite understand why it does it that way. I don't need this one.
Has Zavi or whatever his name is ever gotten in on one of your Zoom?
Who?
Zavi?
Zavi? Oh yeah, he's been here a couple times. In fact, he one time in chat said, "Hey, it's late. I'd really like to join you, but it's late." And the next thing I know, he's on Zoom with us.
Who was it?
Zavi Manor out of Israel.
From Israel, yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh, he's from Israel? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Catherine's joined us. I like it when Catherine joins us, except for her cats and their comments.
I told her we're getting AMD chips. That she likes that. And then I say, just getting Intel.
Why is it that she recommends AMD chips, but like every business that I've ever been to, they always have Intel chips?
It's just her preference, and that's just what she's good with. I mean, and that's what she likes.
I mean, why does all the businesses that I know of use Intel? Is that just because that's what Dell has, and most businesses use Dell computers?
Okay, so again, let me show my lack of not knowing. How new is AMD compared to Intel? In other words, Intel's been around for a very long time, since PCs became available to the private consumers. When did AMD?
AMD's been around since the 80s, so I mean.
Really?
Oh God, yes.
Why haven't we heard about them?
They had a chip called Athlon. When was that? 84?
So I think Sam's off the phone if you want to run your questions by him now. I think.
Hey,
I can't
Sam?
tell. Maybe he's not.
Yeah, don't want to disturb him. Seriously.
Yeah, he's busy doing something. So
yeah, AMD's been around. They had the Athlon chip. They had a 586. Yeah, they've been around a long time.
Wow, that is
So-
interesting. I honestly thought they came out in the last 10 to 15 years, honestly.
Well, 80, what's that, 40 years?
41, yeah, 41 back to 80 itself.
If you went to a bowling alley a long time ago and the electronic pin setters came down, you'll see the guard says AMD.
It does, actually.
It does. You think I'm kidding?
No, I used to do a lot of bowling, you're right. In fact, I was
Hey, Sam?
contemplating that, but I think he's still busy, Gary. He's got his head down. I think he's writing something or something.
I do too. I don't want to bother him. I'll wait until he sits up.
I've sent him some crayon books. He's filling in between the lines.
Nice.
So, to answer your question, Alex, I think it's just her personal preference. I don't know if she's ever done Intel.
That's just something I've always noticed. Whenever I go in, this might seem a little crazy, Ken, but every time I go into like a hospital or somewhere I've never been before, first thing I do when I go in, if I got my tablet or my phone, first thing I do when I go in is see if I can connect to their network, or at least see what their IP range is and all that. See what kind.
You know what you got to do, Alex? You got
Pay
to
attention to all their computers and stuff they've got. So I pay attention to stuff like that.
You've got to do a complete personality shift. If you're gonna, the first thing an IT pro does when he goes into the hospital ER is check out the nurses.
Yeah, it is. So Robert posted a link in chat, and he says this is our main stations. It's a Precision 5820 tower workstation by Dell. It looks like $15.59 starting price. Wow.
Yeah, these are workstations. They're great. I don't use these, but these are great machines.
It's amazing. Yeah, Alex, if you go to an ER, don't be checking out the computers first. It's about I don't know, fourth or fifth on the list.
When I was at the dentist office one time, I still go to the children's hospital for my dentist appointment because they'll take me as long as I'm alive. And one time they couldn't get their computer to work, and they used a little thin clients with the monitors and stuff connected to their main server, and they couldn't get it to turn on. And all it was I had to turn. They did. All I had to do to make it work was press the power button.
It's always the simplest things.
Well, we used to have about 5 years ago job I worked. I'd be getting calls for IT people. They'd call, and I'd be just ready to shoot somebody. And there was a whole set of women just got in trouble. That where this is the, I mean, it was a joke, but I'm serious. They have the 5-inch heels, and what they do is they kick their shoes off. Now listen to this, and they'd be kicking their shoes for like an hour. They'd unplug each computer.
Mm.
So you'd have to send somebody there, and got ready to diagnose it. It's like, oh, done. Just plug it in.
In context to what you said, Alex, on the other end of the spectrum, Carrie, for the most part, only uses Intel, whereas Catherine is AMD. I know Carrie has done some AMD machines, but his experience hasn't been well, so he sticks with Intel.
Well, who's that guy that Remus?
Anthony, Anthony out of Vegas.
Yeah, he does only AMD for the most part.
I thought he did both.
He did both.
Yeah, I thought he did too.
I think he spends more time on AMD though. From what
you pull out the checkbook, he'll do whatever you want.
Sure.
Why is it that if you go on like Best Buy website, like if you go on BestBuy.com, most of the HP computers are AMDs? Is that just because they're the cheapest? You're the cheaper ones.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll tell you, I got one problem that everybody bitches about HP. HP has a damn fine business line, almost as good as Dell's. Business line.
Are you guys watching Robert show his work setup?
No.
In the Zoom.
I'm seeing it.
And I would get so lost on that.
It looks like a jungle mess of cables and wires, but I would still like to have a rack and a system kind of like that.
Of course, it is running the police department and the fire department and all that other stuff.
Quite impressed, Robert.
Yes, very impressive. Very impressive.
You know what I saw one time, Alex, in an ER? You're in there 16 hours, whatever, till they get sick of you.
In America, it's only about a half an hour.
Well, no, that's what it is. But anyway, there's an aisle away from the drawn curtains. And there's an old monitor, 28 inches, big thing. Looks like it's all burned out. Every now and again, someone sits down, puts the mouse out. You can see all the security cameras. And then they look around. Then they set it down. Then they walk away again. Then somebody else comes a little bit later. Do you think I can find someone to take me to the washroom? No. But these people can walk around and get paid to look at these cameras. That's a true story.
The oddest thing I ever saw in a hospital, when I was 15 years old, my appendix got to be about the size of a basketball, or so they told me. They rushed me to the hospitals in Bloomington, Indiana. I'm in the emergency room, and I'm laying there, and out of the corner of my eye, I seen something move on the floor, and I thought, I'm going to figure out what that was. And then it moved back. It was a cockroach, and it was probably about 3 inches in size. So I'm thinking, this hospital can't be very clean. They got cockroaches running around, and they're about to cut me open. Next thing I know, I woke up in my room, so I guess it was all right. But then again, cockroaches are practically everywhere. They're going to outlive everybody.
Of course, you've never seen that cockroach again, have you?
Well, God, I would hope not. That thing was huge.
I wonder what happened to it.
What's their life cycle?
Longer than a fly.
But for notebooks, I don't need anything for 3 to 4 years, but I have Dell #1, Lenovo #2, and HP Business Class #3.
Are you back with us yet, Sam?
Hello. I'm still here.
Gary's got a question for you. We know you were busy, so he's been holding off. So he's going to ask you a question.
That's all right. Yep.
Yeah, your Plex server you said is on 192. That's an internal IP network.
Correct. That's my internal. I do have port forwarding, but I don't share mine. It's a dynamic IP, but I do have port forwarding.
Okay, no problem. I was going to show Ken how to get there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna explain it. I'm not gonna let you access the server.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
Were you talking business?
No, I'm talking to a friend. He was calling me.
Oh, good deal.
Had the website, our website running for like 3 or 4 months now, and I've noticed that the website only is using about 400 to 600 megs of RAM. Should I make it a small? Do you think I should make it a smaller plan? Because I got it on the plan I have it on now is like a 80 gig hard drive or 80 gig SSD and 4 gigs of memory.
I don't know. That's a good question.
And I'm only constantly using about 400 meg to 600 meg of memory, and right now I'm using about 9 or 10 gigs of space.
I had to go check out what that noise was. She's drying a coat in the dryer, and it's got some big buttons on it, and every time it tumbles around, it was making a horrible sound.
Luckily, it didn't melt the buttons.
Yeah, well, if they come off, they come off. We'll see. Okay, so what's going on? What have I missed? Anything?
If you're wondering, I've got I think an 80 gigabyte movie on my server. 80 gigabytes.
So we're doing finger foods for Thanksgiving Saturday. So what kind of finger foods do y'all like?
Sushi.
I like sushi.
I'm a northern guy. Sushi.
I like sushi.
No, not sushi.
But
I'm talking about.
I would say define finger foods, because the way I look at it, all foods are finger foods. Maybe mashed potatoes aren't,
Peas, you one at a time? Okay.
Yeah, peas. Yeah, let me have a pea.
Barbecue meatballs, those little tortilla wrapped pinwheel things.
Buffalo wings.
There you go. Yeah.
Alex,
all the foods I can't have.
Alex, I sent you a link. I can't mention what it is now.
You sent me a link. Where?
You asked me a question. I can't reply on here. It's on YouTube, so I sent you a link.
Well, I can stop the stream if we want to stop the stream, because we no longer have to restart the Zoom.
I'm throwing life jackets to everybody, and they're not taking them.
Where did you send me a link to? On the YouTube chat?
No, Alex, I didn't send you a link. Fingerprints. Think about it. Oh.
2 hours and 24 minutes we've been on the stream, and we haven't done anything other than talk technical. So let me go ahead and end that, and we can continue the Zoom. So I'm going to end the YouTube stream. Thanks everyone for being here. Tony, if you're still with us, thank
Why
you for
doesn't Tony ever come in? He did once.
on his phone.
Yeah, well,
Because can you imagine picking your phone up and you're on a Zoom and you're holding your phone, unless you have some means of and I know they have them, but this would get really old, and then you're going to have to switch hands and reposition it.
just let him put it in his purse and go to the washroom and do whatever. I actually had one Skype go that way, believe it or not. Somebody forgot to hang it up.
All right, I'm going to end the stream. So 1, 2, 3, stream is ended. End.